dear. Are you all ready to boogie?
Yeah!
Let's boogie!
Dear with Mrs. Dipsworth.
Dear. This is so much fun.
Mrs. Dipsworth.
Dear. Hello, and welcome to Mrs. Dipsworth's story time. I am Mrs. Dipsworth, and I came so far to be here with you today. Oh dear, let's see. I traveled down the street and around the corner and up the block and through your device screen thingy. Hello. My name is Mrs. Dipsworth, and I traveled so far to be here with you today. Let's see. Oh dear. I traveled down the street and around the corner and up the block and through your little device thingy. Hello. Welcome to Mrs. Dipsworth's story time. I am Mrs. Dipsworth. Oh dear. Did I say that already? I did. Oh dear. You must forgive me. Sometimes when people start to get a little bit older, they start to forget things. So you have to remember to always be patient when you're dealing with older friends and family members and relatives and loved ones. Oh dear, let's see here now. Well, today I am going to have a little bit of a wonderful story time with you, but I want to first of all have you know that I know everything there is to know about everything in the whole wide world. Now, some people think it's magic, but if you're really listening, I'll tell you a little bit about that later. All right. First, we're going to read a wonderful book today. Now, a lot of people read books and they try to remember what they read. And oh dear, sometimes it gets kind of fuzzy. You can be 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 years old and still forget things sometimes, just like Mrs. Dipsworth. But I am going to teach you how to remember to read and remember what you read. Now, here is how we are going to do that. There's a little song that I want to teach you, and it goes like this. Everyone point to your eyes. Everyone say eyes. Wonderful. Everyone point to your ears and say ears. Wonderful. Everyone point to your mouth and say mouth. Wonderful. Everyone point to your nose. Oh, wonderful. Now, here is how it goes. You use your eyes to see the pictures in the book or to read the book or to watch the person who is reading the book to you. You use your ears to listen to the reader or to yourself reading aloud. Yes, you use your mouth to imagine the wonderful tastes that could be in the story. Let's just say it's a story about wonderful, hot, chocolate chip, chunk, gooey, chewy chicken. Oh dear, I must be wanting chicken right now. You use your mouth to imagine the taste. Last but not least, you use your nose to imagine the smells in the book. Now, smells aren't always a good smell. Imagine that you're walking through the jungle, and in the jungle there are animals, and animals eat, and then animals do what animals do. So it may be a stinky smell, but you use your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your nose. Say it with me. Eyes, ears, mouth, nose. Again. Eyes, ears, mouth, nose. Ow! Now I am going to teach you the song. It goes like this. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. That is how the story goes. Are you all ready to sing with me? Wonderful. Here we go. All right, nice and loud now. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. That is how the story goes. Wonderful job. Now, I want you to sing it one more time, nice and loud for me. And sing, eyes and ears and mouth and nose. That is how the story goes. Give yourselves a round of applause. Wonderful, wonderful. Now we are ready to enjoy a good book. Today we're going to read a book called Opal Lee and What It Means to Be Free. Words by Alice Faye Duncan and art by Keturah A. Bobo. Oh, this is so exciting. Now, some of you may or may not know, but Opal Lee is a real lady that lives in Texas. She's also known as the grandmother of Juneteenth, and we're so excited to be reading this book today in honor of the Juneteenth holiday. Now, you'll have to ask your parents to explain to you what Juneteenth means, but we are going to read. Oh dear, I'm so excited here. Happy Juneteenth Jamboree. Come and join the fun. Opal Lee waved to her great-grandson as he barreled across the park. He zipped past lines of picnic tables covered with plates and platters of barbecue, baked beans, tomato tarts, and raspberry cobbler. Oh dear, that sounds so good. He hurried past a leaping choir draped in purple robes. He danced a jig with cowboys playing fiddles, but they did not stop his flow. But he ran to the blooming tree where Opal Lee held court. Her braided hair was a silver crown. Her eyes were twinkling stars. Great grand dear, Buddy called, tell us a Juneteenth story. Opal Lee raised her face to the sun as the memories of yesteryear filled her vision. Oh dear, she's a storyteller just like me. I love it. Everyone say, oh dear. When she had been a Texas bud like the children at her feet, Granddaddy Zach told freedom stories on his wooden porch. As Opal Lee remembered his words, she lifted her hands and cheered, Juneteenth means freedom, and now it's story time. Then Opal Lee began. Once upon a blazing sun, black bodies were bought and sold like cattle. Black men plowed the fields but were not allowed to own the land. Black women cooked the food but were not allowed to feast on roast and ribs from the master's table. Black children cleaned the one-room schoolhouses but were not allowed to read and write. Earning and learning were against the law. Slavery was a thief. Oh dear, that's not very kind at all. American slavery dragged on like the plague until January 1st, 1863. That's when President Lincoln wielded courage and raised his feathered pen. He signed the Emancipation Proclamation with a mighty stroke. On the first day of January, in the year of our Lord, 1863, all persons held as slaves shall be free, forever free. Oh, wonderful, glory, glory, glory. Freedom was dazzling news like a bright, starry night. However, Texas was big and many, many miles from Mr. Lincoln. White masters defied his words. Black bodies remained in bondage. They plowed, they cooked, they cleaned. freedom did not ring through Texas in 1863. Oh dear. Oh dear. Everyone say, oh dear. Oh dear. It was toiling times in the Lone Star State for 2 years, 5 months, and 18 more weary days. Then finally, joy jumped up on dancing feet in the Gulf town of Galveston. The year was 1865. The day was June 19th. Gordon Granger marched through Galveston with Union Army troops. The general raised his booming voice and spoke these righteous words. The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, everyone say, oh dear. Opal Lee danced in a circle, freedom, hope, and joy divine. Juneteenth means freedom time. Can you imagine the excitement? Singing filled the air. Happy tears rolled down like rain. Black families leaped through the cotton fields and played tambourines. It was a day of jubilee, perfect for Texas barbecue and watermelon and sweet potato pie, delicious delights they had been denied during their servitude. Oh dear, I think I love that. Can everyone say freedom, hope, and joy divine? Yes, Juneteenth means it's freedom time. Wonderful. Oh dear, oh dear. Opal Lee told the children, remember my words for safekeeping. Remember what I say. Juneteenth is bigger than Texas singing or dancing bands. Juneteenth is freedom rising, and freedom is for everyone. Juneteenth is for you and me. As the children clapped and cheered, Buddy tugged her sleeve. Great granddear, he called. What was Juneteenth like when you were a kid? Opal Lee unwrapped another story. Blacks and whites lived separately when I was a child. Jim Crow signs littered old Fort Worth in every public place. Whites only, coloreds only, whites only. Oh dear, even at the zoo. Black families were banned from Forest Park Zoo except one day of the year. On Juneteenth, we could picnic, party, and ride the Ferris wheel. I hated that zoo. I loved it too. The birdhouse was my favorite. Buddy groaned and shook his head. The old days don't sound so good. Oh dear. Good and bad work together like the sun and the rain. I spent good days on my granddaddy's porch reading poetry books. His farm was my playground. I ran across the field and climbed the tallest oak. Glory, glory, glory. Some memories are chocolate sweet. But some memories cut and bruise. My saddest season started on Juneteenth Day, 1939. Oh dear. Everyone say, oh dear. An angry mob with flaming sticks burned my family's brand new house. Their broken minds and evil hearts were so afraid of black progress, the police made no arrests. My family moved away. And yet the embers burn. That fire still lives in me. I learned a big lesson that Juneteenth day. Freedom is a golden coin. Struggle makes it shine. Oh dear. Oh dear. And no matter how long it takes for freedom to stretch across the land, I will keep on teaching. I will keep on reaching. I will keep on walking. I will keep on talking. I will raise my voice on the prairie and the mountaintop until freedom rings. Yes, I love this so much. Oh dear. Oh, it's so exciting, dear. The children lifted their hands in praise. Freedom, hope, and joy divine. Juneteenth means it's freedom time. Oh, we know that. Can we say it one more time? Freedom, hope, and joy divine. Juneteenth means it's freedom time. Opal Lee winked and chuckled. I think now it's time for barbecue, strawberry cake, and red Juneteenth punch. Glory, glory, glory. Buddy cheered. As he waved his hands, he bounced up and down. Opal Lee hugged him tightly. Then, just like birds in flight, all the children flocked into her arm. Opal Lee studied their shining faces, black, brown, bronze, gold, tan, white, freckles. Ah! Oh dear. She rested again against the blooming tree and whispered to the winds, remember my words for safekeeping. Remember what I say. Freedom is for everyone. Juneteenth is you and me. What do we say at the end of a wonderful book, boys and girls? The end. That's right. Oh dear, that is so wonderful. Didn't we love this book? Didn't we love this book? Oh, I'm so excited. So now, remember, I love to read so very much. I love to read almost more than I love anything else. But there is one thing that I love to do almost as much as I love to read. I love to boogie. Oh dear. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to play some music, but we are going to do a very special boogie today. Now, you will notice that in this book, Opal Lee, there's a lot of marching that happens. Oh dear, General Gordon Granger, I believe was his name. He marched into town to tell the news. Whenever Miss Opal Lee does her walk, everyone marches alongside of her. So I think our boogie is going to be about a march today. Now, all boogieing, all music, all dancing is just counting to 4. So count to 4 here with me now. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, you're going to hear me start off with 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to go 4 counts this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go 4 counts that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to boogie 4 counts backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we are going to march as big as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you all ready? Oh, I don't believe you. Are you all ready to boogie? All right, let's boogie. All right, now stand up nice and straight. And 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boogie! We're marching. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, I get carried away sometimes. Let's do it one more time. All right? Are you all ready to march? 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boogie! Oh dear, I love this. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, all right, okay. so carried away. Listen. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Now, I want you to remember to celebrate Juneteenth this year. Remember the words of Miss Opal Lee. Remember when I told you that I know everything there is to know about everything in the whole wide world? Well, I do. It's true. Some people call it magic, but I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a secret. It's not really magic at all. When I was a little girl, about 4 years old or maybe 5 years old, my mother bought me a book. I learned to read that book from cover to cover. Oh dear, I loved reading so much that I started to read everything I could get my hands on. I would read the people's t-shirts and signs on the walls, and I would read the words on the back of a green bean can. I even read the paper that came inside of the VCR box. And you don't know what a VCR is, do you? Oh, dear. It's okay. It is okay. Don't worry about it. Just know that my real magic came from reading, using my eyes, my ears, my mouth, my nose, and understanding everything that I read. And that, dear friends, is how I came to know everything there is to know about everything in the whole wide world. Now, I look forward to seeing you next time. Please continue to read. Please continue to take time to love one another. And please continue to take time to boogie. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye now.